Lord. All right, I'm going to share my screen for us to get rolling. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so for those of you all who do not know me, my name is April Kearny, and I am a salon owner and trichologist educator. I love to help people, and I love to share the gifts of essential oils and wellness. And so I'm really excited to have this Monday night call that we have been gaining traction throughout the summer. And so we have guests that come along on our call, and Ray is one of our guests that's going to share in all things wellness concerning her line of work. But before we get started in that, I want you all to have access to our group. And we have a private group that's a safe space for hormone balancing, exclusive healing and wellness, weekly live updates, and we also have great surprises that we are giving away. So scan the QR code to be a part of our community. There is a few questions that we're going to ask you to be accepted into the group. But if you would like to go ahead and get that at least logged into your device, then that way you can join and answer those questions later. And then secondly, we've got a amazing ebook that we have just launched. You guys can scan this QR code. Can you all see the QR code fully?
Yes.
We did a very important information session on blood types and hormonal changes and what it's saying about whatever cycle you are in, whether you are uh, perimenopausal, in menopause, or postmenopause. And for the young ladies on the call, it is not of utter concern as to some communities, but it is relevant, and it's great information about just how to master your nutrition and just some tips to help with hormonal balancing. So go ahead and scan that QR code and you can get your free resource available too. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen and allow you to share your screen after I have introduced you to those that may not know you, Ray. Is that all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So we have, let me stop that really quick. There you go. All right. So I am introducing a beautiful soul, a beautiful young lady that I am so proud of. And never would I have imagined that we would be in this space, sharing this space together. I've learned so much. This is Miss Ray Lopez, and she is originally from Austin. And she is a mother of three beautiful, beautiful souls. And the four of them have blessed my life. I have known Ray, I think, since before she was born, because I am friends with her mother, Clarissa. And we worked together over 30 years ago. Well, I think right at 30 years ago. And so I'm not going to tell your age, Ray, but I've known you for a long time, and I am so godly proud of you. And it's just amazing to see you operating in this space and the blessing that you are to so many people and in your community. And so I want to just let you just have the space to share the information that you have brought to us tonight. And I'm going to just kind of ask you some guided questions along the way that might help people to get a better understanding of what Freshora is and just the story of Miss Ray Lopez.
Well,
So
thank
I
you.
am going to make you um, allow you to go ahead and share your screen.
Let's see.
It should allow you to share as soon as
Okay.
you are ready. There we go.
Uh-huh. You can see it well?
I can. You might want to expand it into full screen.
Let me see.
Yep, I can see you.
You said full screen? Okay. So thank you for having me, Miss April. This is definitely a full circle moment. Your introduction was well, so I don't really have anything else to add to it. But speaking on Freshora, my mission is really to redefine what clean means. We have generational patterns in the way that we clean and the products we use. Most of us learn, from our moms and our grandmothers, and the same methods and the same cleaning products are what we're using today. But I really believe it's time to normalize a healthier way of cleaning, because we're bombarded with toxins daily. And I think cleaning is one of the biggest blind spots in our wellness conversation. So I created Freshora to change that. We don't just make things sparkle, even though we do that very well, but as also we just make a positive impact, because when we talk about the rising health issues, be it stress, fatigue, hormonal imbalance, respiratory problems, all those things. We also need to have a talk about what's sitting under our cabinets, because that's a really big but quiet contributor to a lot of the grievances that many of us are living with today.
That is true. That's true.
Um, Candles, plugins, which we probably already know about those, but even disinfecting wipes, dish soaps, even the cleaning supplies that we use, they release VOCs, which is volatile organic compounds. And they're extremely harmful chemicals that evaporate into the air, and they also linger for days. So they also get left behind as residue on our surfaces, furniture, even our skin. And these VOCs pollute indoor spaces and contribute to things like headaches, the hormonal disruption, the respiratory irritation, just long-term health stress, and everything that is not good. But you don't need harsh products to get a deep clean. Plant oils can do the same job when we talk about shine, sanitizing, lifting stains. They do all of that without compromising your health. Essential oils can break down grease, they can purify surfaces, it can shine glass, polish wood. They do all these things and leave your air with a fresh, crisp calm, that you can actually feel as well. And so our
Well,
bodies
hold
are.
on one second. I like that slide. It really stopped me, in my tracks because everything that you put on here, whether it be the color, the shape of the bottle, is what I grew up with.
Right.
A lot of us have grown up with. And so the idea that indoor air can be like 5 times just more polluted than outdoor air, we try to get inside to protect ourselves, but like if we're not using responsible products or if we don't even know the toxicity of our products, we can be doing a lot more harm, than good. So
Exactly.
that's just so eye-opening. Why do you think so many of us associate like bleach and strong smells with clean?
Yes, there is actually a psychology to it. We've been conditioned to really believe that when you smell bleach, that means it's clean. And it just goes back to those generational patterns. That's what we grew up with, and that's what we've seen advertising. It's just, we've been really ingrained with that idea that that's the only way to really like disinfect the surface and kill bacteria. So I think it's generational, it's psychological, and it's by design. They kind of planned it that way, I think.
I think so too, because the generational toxic load, it's just like, what does that look like in real families today, with our children being more susceptible
Mm.
to these volatile compounds? Um, how does that affect these hidden chemicals? How does it affect our nervous systems when we're dealing with some of these volatile compounds?
Yes, it ranges from things like asthma, like I said, the respiratory issues, a lot of compromised immune systems, people that have like skin sensitivities and things like that, they'll find this style of cleaning, like the more holistic approach, a lot more beneficial to them, because it's an experience. These oils have life. They are
Yeah.
chemistry that's communicating something completely different. And so when you talk about the effects, it sends a message, a signal to your brain of danger.
Mm.
And this is what's being communicated to women who are more prone to stress. It's being communicated to men, it's being communicated to children. And the children actually take on most of the load because they're smaller, because they breathe faster. They absorb a lot more than the adult. And again, going back to generational, the same way we inherited those patterns, we also inherited those toxins. That load is within us too. So it does a lot of communicating in a negative sense, but we kind of normalized it because that's really all we've known.
Yeah. Oh.
I'll keep going. So our bodies are speaking all the time. It's kind of like I just said, there's a communication with the environment. It talks as well. And our bodies talk back to us through the fatigue, the brain fog, the skin irritation, restless sleep. These are the things that are the effect of when we use the harsher chemicals instead of healthier alternatives. But we're also receiving information from what's in our environment. And the body is quietly asking for cleaner air, when it's showing these signs of the fatigue. So, like I said, the people who benefit the most from exploring a more holistic approach to cleaning are the types of people with a compromised immune system. Absolutely. Stressed or hormonally imbalanced bodies, the respiratory and the skin sensitivities and overworked nervous system, which that, I think resonates with all of us. But when you lighten your home's chemical load, at that point, you're not just cleaning anymore, you're actually giving your body less fight
Mm.
against against the element, the environment, and you're making your space a partner in your wellness by activating the parasympathetic system. And this is going into the nervous system. We're talking about on a cellular level.
Mhm.
You can use chemistry through the scent to communicate safety to your brain instead of danger. And that's what's happening, when you take a more holistic approach.
Yeah, the olfactory nerve, which is your sensory to smell, it's
Yeah.
connected to our parasympathetic system, which helps our mental state of being as well. And so this is such a connection with our mental health and well-being, and just reducing that toxic load because we already deal with so many things that interrupt our endocrine system that can cause brain fog and depression, even memory loss, even. And so I love how you tied it into just our complete overall well being. It's not just about cleaning, it's giving your body rest to support so that your parasympathetic system does not have to attack. And then you don't develop this immune um, dysregulation that has to fight all the time. So,
Yeah, exactly. It talks regulation to the body. It's emotional support um, that is extremely effective, even again in children, because those same VOCs are giving them the hyperactivity, a lack of concentration, sensitivities to food and sound and texture. It's communicating to their brains as well, and theirs are still developing. So the contrary, is having this negative effect when it's toxic load. But when you switch that to a more holistic approach, the effects are immediate. You see the calm, you see the safety, you feel it. And it's like I say, it's just an experience because you're not just using your eyes when you clean and you want to see that it looks clean. This is all of your senses: smell, feel, touch, everything just comes to life, really. um at Freshora, for us, quality is everything. It's one of our core principles. You're going to get high quality cleaning you're going to get high quality communication. You're going to get high quality products. That's the Freshora experience. And
Mhm.
because, you know, when I enter into someone's home for audits or consultations, or when my team is there for the services we provide, you know, we're hearing about these families' health priorities, and we see their children, you see where they sleep. You know, it's very intimate, and there's a level of trust that has to be there in me and my team. And so, as a woman of integrity, I don't just have it in me to offer anything, you know, mediocre or questionable in a good conscience. Like I can't do that. But that's why doTERRA is such a key anchor for us, because you know the community, the commitment to um, transparency, the science, the research, the purity of these oils, it lets us serve with complete confidence. Um, and that's also how I have grown Freshora. It's like the more ways that I can find how to integrate essential oils into the services we provide, it's just that much better of an experience. You know, every oil, every blend, every spray, every
Yeah.
surface that is touched, it reflects the same standard. It's pure, it's safe, it's honest, and it just really does incredible things.
Yeah, it did my heart so much joy just to know that you've integrated these certified pure and tested grade essential oils, and that plant compounds, doTERRA's plant compounds, actually have such a powerful effect. You made me a blend that I've been using consistently, and it's just made such a difference because I've got a little closet powder room that just has my, toilet. And so it can, when we close the door, it's closed off. And even
Mhm.
my husband mentioned, he's just like, what is that in that spray bottle? Because it just
Yeah.
kind of freshened up the air even more. And it didn't smell like,
Heavy.
cleaner and heavy.
Mhm.
And so that has been a game changer. I think you've mentioned, some of the signs that you can see in children, but what are some of the signs that maybe adult women that are on our call could be experiencing due to more toxic type cleaning products? Because I know we've got people on the call that are really used to clean surfaces and are traditionally are just not aware that that's what they're doing. It's like cleaning surfaces, you're thinking you're cleaning, but you're actually adding more toxicity, to the environment. What things can they possibly look out for as to show that they may be responding to a heavy metal toxic load within the environment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think one thing to that would help to be very mindful about is, again, if you're using these I would say the more, what would you call it, familiar, you know, just what we're used to, those harsh chemicals in our cleaning products, wherever it touches. So if you're wiping a surface or whatever it is you're cleaning, it leaves behind a residue that you cannot see. And so whenever you touch it, whenever you walk by it, it's in the air, it's there. And like I said, it lingers for days. So you can become asymptomatic. You could actually be so loaded with the toxins that you really don't notice anything. But on the contrary, those breathing problems like the labored breathing, any type of chronic aches and pains. It's a lot of respiratory, because again, this is the air that you're breathing in. But again, the skin sensitivities is another thing that you can look out for, and just the stress, the fatigue, the headaches. You need, if you're cleaners are actually, of everyone in the service industry, they have the poorest health. You're talking about people that do concrete restoration. There's a lot that goes into service in a home, but cleaners are at the top of the list for their poor health qualities. And the most damaged organ in them is their lungs and their brain.
Mm.
And so my team, because we do non-toxic cleans, but we also offer, you know, if you want the regular options, that's fine too. But they love when we get the non-toxic cleans because for them, these women have decades of experience cleaning. Again, that's how we can guarantee the high quality of the clean itself, you know, because they have been doing this.
Yeah.
And with that being said, in a professional space, they have their go-to products, they have, you know, their smells and scents that they like to use, they know what to go to. But when we use the non-toxic products, a lot of them have actually switched and preferred to use those instead in their homes because it's like after a clean, they sleep better. They're not tired. They have more energy. You know, they actually feel like uh one of my technicians, she would, you know, her wrist hurt. She would complain that after cleans or if she took on too many or they were a little bit longer, she would feel those aches and pains in her wrist. And just from cleaning, she's not applying anything topically, just from, again, the exposure to these plant oils communicating to her safety. She's like, my wrists don't hurt after I clean. It's like I can keep
Wow.
going. And
Yeah.
so again, this is part of the experience and it has so much to do with those oils. We use the abode concentrate. This is called the oil of accountability, you know, and it's clean. It's a
Yeah.
cleaning powerhouse. It has so many heavy hitters in it. But this is also a very huge oil for emotional support. And so the concentrate is actually multi-surface safe. And that means you can use it on stone, you can use it on tile, you can use it on, you know, it's multi-surface safe. And a lot of cleaning products, you have to be conscious of that too, because you can actually like etch a surface or damage it by using the wrong cleaning supplies. But this is something that you can we're cleaning the toilets with this, we're cleaning the kitchen, all your high touch spaces. We use the abode blend for that. And then we use the on guard, which is great for immunity support. And this is there's an entire line, you know, on guard products when it comes to attending to your home. You could transfer with just the on guard alone, but the concentrate is a multi-purpose. So this is something that this is a cleaner. We clean homes with this, but you can clean your produce with this. You can clean your cutting boards with this. You know, it's so powerful, yet so gentle at the same time. And again, it's another just very powerful product. Another one is the lemon because it's very uplifting. But when it comes to cleaning, I pull out the lemon. We pull out the lemon if it's tough stains. We clean towel and grout. This just lifts and loosens all kinds of dirt and grime. This is a natural degreaser. It brightens the air. It just softens and loosens. So, but just with these three products alone, like you can clean your entire house top to bottom. And like I said, my team loves when we have the non-toxic cleans because it's a difference that they've never experienced before. And
What?
I love that. I love that they notice a difference. I love that they have that preference. You know, it's really powerful to see and very encouraging. Another thing I would like to share too is speaking on the children, like for me, when my daughters need to settle, you know, if we're going into a transition and they may be a little bit too much for me, I hand them a spray bottle and I'll have them wipe the windows or, you know, pick a wall and do the baseboards. And they don't know what's going on, but I want them to breathe in those plant and that scent and those aromas to
That's
get
good.
communicated to them that, you
Yeah.
know, it's time to calm down. And so it's getting in the air and they're breathing it in. You know, they think they're helping and, you know, which they
Oh,
are, but something shifts and
I
they
love this.
calm down. You know, they settle. And we've done this for years. I'm a believer in these oils and incorporating them into my family's life as much as I possibly can and as often as I possibly can, you know, and I'm sure that may sound a little excessive to
Yeah.
somebody that hasn't had that experience. But listen, I've used these oils, like I said, and I have seen the benefits in my own personal life long before Freshora was even a thought. So again, it's just it's incredible what can take place. And it's just a simple change that anybody can make.
You know, that's such an amazing way that you love on your team. I
Mhm.
see your passion. I feel your passion. I mean, you got me all excited. Like, I think that I don't normally get excited about cleaning, but just to know that we have these options and the way that you broke down the abode and how it translates to the emotional side of it, and also just having the confidence and the accountability of a plant-based organism that God created that we can use.
Mhm.
For you to be so trusting as to just allow your team a safe space to support your business while they're working, and then even have your children to teach them how to use, how to clean, and have it be so authentically and organically derived. That's just a game changer, you know, in this day and age with being able to clear our spaces. So your passion just shows through, and Freshora is going to be a household name, um,
Oh, love
because it's a
it.
concept that's not really done through companies. I mean, you can do it yourself, but just to give yourself a treat and a break and be able to have somebody else come in that you can trust that's going to care for your environment as well. It's such a blessing. That's a game changer.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that. I truly believe Freshora is a movement. I like to say
Yeah.
often we are so much more than a cleaning company. That's what I mean. We are here to redefine what it means to clean. But going back to the slides, talking again about the children, I want to stay on them for a little bit longer, because they're often the most exposed to the cleaning residue, especially in their schools, because these are spaces that are getting cleaned frequently. You know, they're using these strong disinfectants, and it is a lot of very questionable um, methods that take place because the cleaning industry is so unregulated. But like I said, they breathe faster, they absorb more. So the ingredients really do matter. And schools carry some of the heaviest toxic loads of any environment. And these children's systems that are still developing, they're affected on a cellular level by what's lingering in the air. And this is a space where Freshora really shines. Learning facilities, daycares, schools, because I understand the chemistry, how certain compounds can overstimulate the nervous system. I prefer to use plant-based, non-toxic methods, you know, that can do things like calm and create safety and clarify the system instead of harming it, and so much more. You know, those are just a few things, but there's so much that can be done when you make that change. Just imagine the peace of mind knowing that the place you send your children or your grandbabies every day is cleaned in a way that actually supports them, that supports their focus, that supports their overall well-being. You know, that's the difference that only intentional science-backed cleaning can make. And so if you work with a school or if you know anyone who does, I would love to be mentioned in those spaces. And I'll share my contact information towards the end, but you know, give them my number and they can talk to me directly. I'm always, always, always open to have the real conversations about creating healthy environments, for our children in the
Yeah.
spaces where they spend the most time.
Because I think you said something so key. You
Mhm.
said that when the air feels safe, the brain believes it is, you know, and in a learning environment, that's so important because it ties to the nervous system regulation. And, you know, we talk about that in all of our spaces, Graced and Sage, Freshora, Bling. And I think that being able to educate people in the school systems as to the importance of it, the children will be able to push the need for it just by
Mm,
their response. So just giving people an
exactly.
experience, you know, just Christmas time is coming, you know, bottle up a glass bottle of lemon and give it to, your teachers or those that you all know that are substitutes, and just give them the experience. It speaks for itself. Plant them in the hands of every, you know, um, plant it in the hands of every principal with the Freshora card and just say, hey, we got somebody that is an expert in facilitating these plant-based options that will help to support your youth in the classroom, outside of the classroom, at nap time, at thinking time, and learning time. It's definitely a movement, and we've got to really advocate for it. So hopefully you will share with us how we can do that more, because these children are our future, our legacy. And the clean air calms minds. I love that. Clean air calms minds. Yep.
It really does. It really does. And another perk, another thing that we do, an added benefit, is we do a lot of diffusion blends, and we curate personalized packages, again, based on what the family's priorities are. And this can change depending on the season. Work with a lot of families transitioning from other states to Texas to help, kind of regulate with the allergies and adjust with all those things. Because again, the connection between scent and brain, it has a voice, whether it's danger or safety, there's always communication. And so I'll share this powerful blend to diffuse. This is one that is very effective, really, in any space. But again, going back to that abode, it is the oil of accountability. So when you need to get things done, if you're feeling sluggish or just kind of unmotivated, that abode is your go-to. So 3 drops of abode, 4 drops of lemon, 3 drops of lavender in your diffuser. And it just creates a focused calm, so you get things done and you're motivated, but it's not just like a burst and then you burn out. It's a very gentle, steady, focused calm. And again, experiences like this in schools, your home, it can be very effective, when we learn how to really use the resources that have been given to us. It's an experience. It really is.
And
Um,
I even say that that's part of that blend that you just said. That can even be part of a busy professional's self-care model. You
mhm.
know, just while you're getting up in the morning, getting ready for work, or while you're even cooking dinner, or even after you have cooked or after you've come home from work, just being able to set the diffuser to the abode. And you said the lavender, and pull it down one more time.
Lemon.
I gotta get my screenshot. The abode, the lavender, and the lemon. Oh my gosh. That is a Freshora signature right there. But would you say that that could actually incorporate into like the self-care wellness space just for like professionals, even outside of the home, maybe in the office too?
Oh, absolutely. We do commercial spaces too. Actually, a lot of medical facilities where you have to be a little bit more, intentional with the products, where they don't want those harsh scents, but they still need the disinfecting and the sanitization. This is, considered medical grade cleaning. So we take these products into those spaces and it performs just as well. But absolutely, I would say 1,000%, in any space, again, you can be intentional and
Yeah,
the results are undeniable.
beautiful, Ray. I love it.
Thank you. Well, this is my last slide. I just want to end on saying, the Freshora experience is all about creating safety. It's all about creating safety in your home, in your air, in your routines. Clean air is self-care. Clean
Mm.
air is healthcare. I truly believe that. Our process is a gentle one. We really do meet you where you are, no judgment, and we just guide you step by step so that the transformation feels practical, not pressured, because, I understand it can be very overwhelming to shift things that are familiar to us, and so I created these 2 tools again, to just really help and assist and make this kind of um, journey accessible to anyone. So we do a cleaning audit, and it's just a simple judgment-free review. We go into your home, we look at those products, we see what you have and what you're using to clean your home, and we check everything, we check the ingredients, and we sit down and you see for yourself, everything that has hidden toxins. And then we can provide you with the swaps that make your air and surfaces safer. Then we have the Detox Your Home in 7 Days ebook. And that's what this QR code is for on the bottom. If you scan it, it'll go right to the site where you can make the purchase. It's just $7, but this is, again, a gentle step-by-step guide to help you transition to cleaner products. And it's one room at a time each day. It says a week. You can take longer if you need to, or if you want to just go all in and get rid of everything right away. But this can be done in 7 days. In just a week, you will learn how to swap out all those harsh chemicals for the simple solutions, so you can experience your home feeling lighter, fresher, and just breathe easier, and all those amazing things. Like I said, Freshora isn't just a cleaning business or a movement.
Yeah, because you said progress over perfection.
Mm-hmm.
That really helps me because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any intimidation now about having somebody come into my space, even as a wellness advocate, to help me to get it to the place where I am feeling more self-care in my atmosphere. So progress over perfection. I love that about Freshora. I love
Yeah.
that about the grace that you give inside of going into other people's spaces and helping them bring health to their zones. So, with the cleaning audit, can you share with our viewers and listeners about your cleaning audit, and then also how people can just make these changes? Maybe they might feel overwhelmed by making them because things might have piled up. So,
Mm-hmm.
how would you tell somebody that might be intimidated about the process that could get started with Freshora?
Yes, I would just tell them go at your pace, listen to your body because it's talking. And what is it telling you right now? That's what I would pay attention to, but to not feel the pressure that it has to be done all in one day or right away, or that there's like a right or wrong way. I love that this is so personalized that wherever you are, whatever needs that you have that need to be met, it can happen. And it should happen. You deserve it. I say all the time, you deserve this. You deserve this. Why would you not? And so I would just say, just listen to yourself and go your own pace.
I love that. So, what legacy do you hope for sure leaves for families and future generations? Because this is such an innovative movement, Ray. So, what would you hope that the legacy would leave?
Wow. The legacy that I hope Freshora leaves behind is, again, one of safety. Um, Safety and pure intentions. I would love for there to be a shift in the ones coming behind us, that they have more resources and more options to do it a better way, to do it a healthier way. And I want it to be normalized, not just a trend or, just a small few here or there. Like, this is something that anybody and everybody is deserving of and can do, and so that's the legacy that I hope to leave, is that I deserve this, I can do this, and I want better for my children, my children's children. A generational impact. That would be everything. That's what this is all about.
Oh, Ray, I love it. I love it. Your work reminds me, it just reminds all of us that, wellness isn't just about what we eat and also what we take supplementally, but it's also what we breathe,
Yes.
what is in our atmosphere. So and the things that we choose, we have an option, we have choices. And so thank you for enlightening us so much this evening with a different spin on the essential oils and blends, and also a service where we actually have someone to go to that we can trust in our space to clean, that's going to be for our benefit. I know me living with an autoimmune disorder, that is appreciated in ways that I can't even articulate. And then just knowing that my clients in my business and also my grandchildren and just the whole environment of every place that I go would be safely supported by having these options. So thank you for sharing how clean air and clean homes and clean minds, how it all connects. So you all please support Freshora. This is a movement with a purpose and a cause. And Ray's testimony and her work is her legacy. And it's just worth being able to feel better, look better, breathe better. And so, Ray, thank you so much again just for being our guest tonight on the call. I want to open it up for anybody that might have questions or would like to get in contact with Ray, just for any other services or just your free cleaning audit. You got your cleaning audit that comes, and so she can come in and just kind of go through and let you know how you can parallel and replace some of the things that you have even.
Yeah.
So I'm opening up the floor. You guys can unmute if you all have any questions and comments. Miss Ray is here to answer them. Let's see.
Hello, Miss Ray. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm April's mother.
Hey,
Wow.
Mom.
Hi, Ava. And um, what you were saying is very important. I know in my kitchen, I use the lemon after I have used or fried or cooked fish or
Mhm.
used onions, and I put it on my cutting board. And also, I drop it all over my countertop and my dish towel. And I go over all my appliances and all my countertops, and that odor disappears.
Yeah.
I diffuse it on in my countertop as well. In fact, I'm diffusing lemon right now because in 30 years I decided to fry some chicken tonight.
Oh my goodness.
And I had to put that lemon diffuser on. So I am aware that that lemon cuts on a lot of things.
Yes, good for you, Mom. You're making some good steps in the right direction, and I'm sure you notice a difference too in doing that.
Yeah, well, I'm just a busybody. I mean, I'm sweeping or mopping or dusting or whatever. In April, yes, she's right. She came up with lots of Clorox and Lysol and Tide and all of that. And I used to use a lot of Clorox water on the beds and things like that. But now most of the kids are all grown, and I have the grandkids from time to time. But the lemon, I am sold on that lemon oil on my countertops, especially after I've cooked or I have fishy smells or onions, like I said.
Exactly. We gotta get you a the concentrate of that abode. I think if you like the lemon, you will love the abode.
Yeah,
It
she
it, it
she
smells so
has
good.
the abode. She just doesn't really know how to. I think you got to pull out your abode, Mom. That came in one of the kits
Mhm.
a couple of years ago that she got, maybe the first kit, but it's really good. I was talking to Ava, and this is just not something that we had tapped into as far as just the cleaning part, like the abode. We've talked about the On Guard concentrate, and at one point in time, they still have it purify, but the
Mhm.
abode has such a gentle yet powerful impact even it wakes you up, but it doesn't like startle you. I was just
Right.
noticing because I sprayed some in the middle of the night before I went to just in the middle of the night after I used the restroom and then got back into bed. And it just kind of it made me smile because it wasn't anything that was just harsh, you know. Because I'm sensitive to sounds in the middle of the night too. And I use a certain bathroom in the middle of the night. It's probably TMI, just so I don't have to hear the toilet flush. Um, no, because just different things tend to trigger me out of my sleep. And the abode was just very, very soothing. You said on the emotional side, it is the oil of accountability.
Accountability.
And so it's just I've learned so much tonight and I can't wait. Like I found my concentrate, I got my dishwashing liquid. Abode has several different options
Yes.
and offerings for that blend. So you guys please drop it in your cart for those of you all who have doTERRA accounts. And we can get you guys a wholesale account as well. So you can get it at wholesale cost if you don't have an account. Those of you all who are invited by Ray, talk to her about getting that in your collection. And those of you all who need help, we can help you guys get that abode and some of the cleaning products ordered. But before we end the call, I want to remind you guys of the special that doTERRA has. They are offering the holiday special. And so the holiday special is going to be on sale for the whole month of November and going into December. And so let me show you all again what is offered in the holiday. Let's see, in the holiday kit. Let's see, Ray, are you still sharing?
Okay, let me stop. How do I? Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Can you guys see? Can you all see my holiday screen?
No.
What do you all see so far?
I see doTERRA Holiday Guide
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah. So the doTERRA holiday
Oh,
guide, these are the products that are available. Can you guys see that now?
Mhm.
Okay. So right now they've got the holiday joy, the holiday peace, I think the Yuletide, and also the what is this other one? The berry. I can't remember the name of it. I can't believe I'm drawing a brain fog like that. Let me go get my abode and my Revitazine. But
Is
these
that little owl a diffuser?
the
Called
out yeah,
winterberry.
it's winter.
Winterberry.
Thank you, Ava. I was gonna say Yuletide berry. It's winterberry. And
Yeah,
guys,
and Yule log. I just posted about what's in each of the blends on our DoTexas page. It's magical.
they are so magical. We had an
And Mom,
opportunity
that is a
to go.
diffuser. That's an owl diffuser, and his little
It's so
belly lights up.
his belly
He's
lights
so
up.
cute.
He's
Oh,
adorable. He's adorable. And they actually they still have the diffusers available. So they're kind of rolling them out. I was looking for the wassail, and Ava reminded me that the wassail tea is not going to come out into December. So I got my eyes peeled. I'm like ready. I'm checking every single day. But as we're checking, doTERRA has a surprise for you guys on next week. And so you all stay tuned because they're going to have some phenomenal offerings on next week, starting Monday. And so Ava is going to go over some of the new BOGOs and some of the different things that will be coming out. And so, guys, there are some good ones. I'm going to have to cash in my little buddy bucks from HEB or something to get me some extra coins and use some of my points for these BOGOs for sure. So check out the holiday guide inside of the doTERRA and inside of the doTERRA uh, website, and you can be able to get some of these. And we've got some incentives for those that sign up for November and December going forward as far as memberships. And so Ava will be able to share with us on next week a lot of the great ways to get started and to capitalize on the products, because doTERRA gives a lot of stuff away, especially during the holiday time. So we're excited. Ray, this is a good time to introduce your team and your people who are interested as well. And so I am going to do a holiday take and make, and I will let you guys know the date that we're going to have, that we're going to gather. I want to appreciate you all for joining our call on Monday nights. And so we are going to gather in person and do a take and make. And so I'm pulling all of those details together so you all can get some things made for your guests, for your friends, and for family for Christmas. So you all will be able to come in and make some gifts for Christmas for others to give away, utilizing some really popular blends. And I've got some that are in a few ebooks and resources that are available for you guys. But another amazing, inexpensive gift to give to one of your loved ones is Freshora's ebook, How to Get Started. And it's just $7. And Ray had it available. If you guys did not get her link, Ray, if you can put that up one more time. And
Yeah.
I got
that, and I already bought it.
Oh, thank you. Awesome.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Sarita. It's a game changer. It's going to be really good. So, guys, you can always gift electronic gifts to people. They can have it and utilize it however they want to. Ray, is your ebook a printable one as well for those that purchase it, or is it?
It can be. It's a download. So once you have it on your computer, you have, the liberty to do as you please. It.
Okay, well, this is a great resource, guys. I mean, it's inexpensive as a gift to give to your community. If you have several people and you've got a budget, gift them the gift of a 7-day detox, a gentle guide to a cleaner, safer home. And so I'll have these resources available for you all more, and we will post some of this information in our page too. So thank you all so much.
April, would you mind putting up your QR code that you had at the beginning of the section? And that's why I had to flip over so I could take a picture of that.
Got it. Let me get back over there and I will. You're talking about the ebook?
Yes.
The ebook. Okay. Let me put that up one more time for you all so that you guys can scan that. Mine didn't shut down properly, so.
Oh.
It's okay. Technology does what technology does.
Challenges us.
Yeah. And I have just learned that it's not going to be my fight. So it's all good.
That's it. Yes.
Yep, it's not my fight. Okay, let's see. Give me a second. There we go.
Ray, I want you to know I really enjoyed listening to this.
Yes, it was good.
And I really need to use, and get rid of some of the toxins that I have at my house.
I learned a lot, Ray. Thank you so much. You're inspiring.
Yeah.
I need to go throw away some of my stuff that I've had for so long that I've just been like, well, maybe I'll use it. I haven't used it in so long. I've used On Guard.
One of my daughters
fruits and my
has said,
vegetables. I use it for my toilets. Like,
yes,
I need to just let go.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Ray.
Yeah. Good. Ava was the first one to come into my home, and she's just like, "Girl, what are you doing with this Clorox?" And I'm like, "But you don't understand. You don't understand my emotional connection with this Clorox. I have a relationship with this Clorox, and so
absolutely,
it's
Is there an essential oil that smells like Clorox, Ava? No.
Oh, I don't like it. You know what? It's so funny because Ray even mentioned it's not so much of the smell. I mean, it's not so much of the that it smells good. It's just there was a security to know that when I walked in my house, if I smelled Clorox, that all was well.
And you knew that it was sanitized. It's a mindset.
Yeah.
Yes. yes.
And you know, they did that. Not only, it's not just my mom, but I mean, it's marketing, right?
Right.
That has put us in that space where we felt like that's what clean is. But when
Right.
when Ray talked about the emotional connection, the accountability, um, just being able to just use a plant-based method to clear perception even. I love the fact that she gave it to her children so that they can clean and they didn't even know that they're cleaning and uplifting and encouraging, and it's just all things God created all in one space. And that's just the beauty behind it. Freshora definitely is a movement. And I can't wait to utilize the services, but I'm just trying to think about people that I can bless with those services as well. So thank you again, Ray. Very, very
Thank you.
motivational and
Thank you.
encouraging. And those of us who have On Guard, I think everybody on this call has lemon. We got some work to do. I actually use the lemon to clean my meats. You know, if I'm cooking
Mm.
fish or I'm cooking chicken, I used it tonight because I made some chicken soup. So I cleaned my chicken with the lemon oil, and I cleaned my lamb chops with the lemon oil to get rid of all of the residue or anything on my meat. So I use it a lot in the kitchen. Then I turn around and spray it down on my countertops, dilute it. So you're right. It's just, and then diffuse it in the air. It's just such an amazing, beautiful gift.
Another one I'll say too is time. That's
Yeah.
very effective as well in the kitchen when it comes to cleaning your produce, cleaning your meats, cleaning your surfaces. Time is another one that's very strong. I think it's in the abode. But you know, thyme, rosemary, those as well. There's so many, but
There's just so many because I mean I use thyme and lime and rosemary for
yeah.
biofilm removal, and biofilm on the skin surface is just one of the
Mhm.
hardest films to remove, and so
Mhm.
it carries out toxins out of the body. So there's just things that we can go on and on and on about,
Mhm.
but just being able to have the surface education of detoxing your atmosphere in the form of cleaning was just so powerful. And we hope that you join us again, Ray, to bring
Absolutely.
about, because you just hit the surface really with this knowledge tonight. It's just not even um, as deep as it could be. So we would love to have like an in-person class maybe where we can get
Oh yeah.
scheduled to come and talk to our people, and just maybe even have those preparing for winterizing the home or either spring.
Mhm.
So we'll definitely talk about that, and then also just elder care and detoxing in the cleaning space. She didn't even get a chance to talk about that when you're caregiving for a loved one. That's
Yeah.
a very important thing, because there's even more toxins in the air that they're exposed to and breathing, and even their own, when you think about it and how you clean and clear those spaces. So there's a lot of education that needs to be done, but we are really grateful that you saw fit to share some of your info tonight. So it,
I have a input or a question. I'm not sure. Anyway, your sinks in your
Mm-hmm.
kitchens, because I use baking soda and vinegar and water and pour it down my sinks. And if I get a funny odor in the kitchen when I go pass by and don't see anything, I that's my go-to is the baking soda and the vinegar. And I let it go down in there and do what it has to do, and it takes care of it. But I know
Mhm.
when you wash meat and when you washing dishes and everything and all that water goes down in there, it's leaving some kind of residue. So the vinegar and baking soda helps. So what do you use for that, Ray?
Yes, ma'am. So we honestly don't use too much vinegar in our products. The oils, the ratios that we have are actually strong enough But I think that's just as effective. You know, the baking soda, the lemon is what we'll always use when we do deep cleans to freshen up the dishwasher, the refrigerator, you know, your appliances. Again, lemon is what we're using in that abode. It's like I said, it's multi-purpose. It's just even stronger, I think, than the On Guard. And so we use the abode concentrate pretty heavily, again, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, and this is every part of the kitchen. The handles on the refrigerator, the, like I said, the disposal, the trash can, all of it, everything. And then that little lemon, it just gives you the extra if you need some elbow grease, you know, just drop on there. And so we like I said, we don't really use the vinegar, and there's times where we've had to use baking soda, but it's pretty minimal. It's if it's a particular stain that needs to be lifted or something, but that lemon does enough. It really does.
Yeah, and Ray, I can tell you, I had some hard water stains living in Pflugerville. You know, we have a lot of hard water. And so I've been in my home now for 11 years. And so, you know, with my children being adults and moving out, we don't use all the bathrooms all the time. And so I have to go in and make sure the water's not sitting. So we have some hard water stains in our toilet. And spraying that abode just daily on there has cut through the hard water stains on the toilet. And I have my toilet upstairs, and I'm gonna do a before and after because I haven't done it on that one, but I've done it in the bathroom that I use. And I'm like, whoa, this toilet is like looking a whole lot better. Like, what? This little brown hard water stain has come off. So I can't wait to use it on my shower tiles with the lemon, because I've got just over these last 11 years, just taking with showers on and off, and the cloudiness of the shower stall and the mold, you know, some of the mildew, which is unavoidable when you're dealing in bathrooms, you know. So, Ray,
I think that, an after and a before thing is going to be very valuable, because, you know, seeing is believing.
Oh, always.
Like, if you're just telling me that an essential oil would do that, I'm going, what?
I have a picture, actually. I was trying to find it. We have a before and after. We came in to clean behind a cleaning company that it was a family that had moved in, and they had the home clean before they moved in. But I'm gonna share my screen and I'll show you this toilet. This was the before. This is how it looked. They said that the cleaners did everything that they could. That's what the cleaners said. This was the after. Let me see if I can.
That was amazing.
Look at this. Let me try to find it. Find a good one. Okay, here we go. 1 second, y'all. Bear with me. This is the after with non-toxic.
Oh, wow.
Way, no way.
Yes.
And what was that again that you used?
We used the abode. We used the abode, the lemon, and we had steam. We applied steam.
Yep. That's what I use. That's what I use, the abode.
Wow.
Okay.
No bleach. No, what is it? The bars keepers. I don't even know the names, but non-toxic.
Non-toxic, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's
it
what I'm
works.
after, non-toxic. Yeah, that's super.
It works because I've been spraying it. We've been spraying it a couple of times a day for about a week. Let me see. When did you bring it to me, Ray? It's been about 2 weeks now.
Probably,
yeah, it's been about 2 weeks. And so it's like each and every time we use the bathroom, I'm spraying it down. And understand that a lot of people, when you're dealing with plant compounds, you have to be patient because they work, but they also are multitaskers. So a lot of times we are looking for a visible change right away, like you do when you pour bleach on something and it completely kills everything. This volatile compound of an essential plant-based oil works synergistically to protect the material that it is also detoxing. And so you might have to do several, and that's why Ray came back in and did a steam with that too, just to help the process. So there are other things that you will do along with using your non-toxic plant-based. And so that's why it's just so good even to have Ray come in, Freshora to come in one time and do a deep clean and then give you a protocol on how to maintain it would even be worth the investment. Just of being able to do something like that instead of trying to tackle it all by yourself all the first time and getting discouraged. So the cleaning audit, she can determine how many times and what can be used and kind of what your goals are. Because I know that there are some toilets that just really just need to be thrown away.
That's what I would have done with that one.
Yes.
But yeah, but thank you guys so much for the questions and the dialogue. Ray has put her, is this your website?
Yes, the
Right.
bottom is the website. The top is our Instagram. I believe that's the name on Facebook. I know for sure Instagram and YouTube, all our social media platforms is Freshora_wellness. And then the bottom, yes, man, that's our website where, you can go and explore and see all the different things that we have to offer, stuff that we didn't even speak on tonight. Like you said, we just kind of covered the surface, but there's so much more to be spoken about and done. So I enjoyed being here, Miss April. Thank you so much for having me and just creating this space for us to have these conversations that need to be had. Absolutely. And I'm more than willing to continue to come and show up and support and be supported. You know where to find me.
I know. Well, thank you all so much. And the call is recorded.
Thank you.
The recording for it. And if you guys don't have any further questions, I'll see you all next week. After next week's class, we're going to go every other week until the end of the year. And so next week, Ava, she's going to be sharing, or we'll have a recording of the gifts that doTERRA has and the specials that come out. Ava, is there anything else that you would like to share with our group in anticipation for next week? She might have been off.
Well, I have a question. I came in late, and for sure is your business, and abode is that a blend oil or something?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. That's one of the
sure.
doTERRA oils, and they have a concentrate as well. A
Mhm.
few other
You
things.
have it. She has it. She has it.
I must not realize it because I sure would be using it.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Get to know your abode. Get to know it comes in a little bitty bottle, so they do have a 4-pack, but a little goes such a long way.
Yeah,
We keep
it's
those
little.
bottles last. Yeah.
See, that's just hard to believe that just a little bit.
I
Yeah.
Goes
know.
a
And it's
long
also
way.
hard. It's
Yeah.
also hard to believe that what you cleaning that toilet with, we can eat it.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. I know that's kind of hard to believe, but that's true. That's true. And y'all
Yeah.
remember that each 15 milliliter roller bottle has 280 drops.
Mhm.
So remember that this goes a long way. This is the concentrated, unfiltered versions of the essential oils, and they go a long way. And
Yeah.
so when you're doing price per drop, y'all's carts ought to be low because there's no other value as far as how you can cut them, blend them, repurpose them, and just use them to stretch. You can literally clean your entire, I don't even know, 3,500 square foot home with like half a bottle.
Yes, not even that. I want to do the actual math, but I did numbers in the beginning when it came to like pricing and ratios, and trying to be realistic because we do this in commercial spaces, residentials, short-term rentals, and you actually save money because you're able to do so much with 2 or 3 products. I don't have to buy a window cleaner or a floor cleaner, a bathroom cleaner, disinfect. You don't have to invest in all that, and you're actually saving pennies on the dollar. Like it's I think that would be a good thing to break down at one point, just to visually see. But you make an investment, but it's actually you get the return long term because you're not, buying so frequent and you're not buying multiple things. You get the job done with less. So less is more, and it's actually cost effective. Because I understand people can see the price and be like, oh no, I'll just go back to Dollar Tree and, get my little fabuloso. But you actually save money doing it this way. You make that in your health, and that's priceless, for you, your children. You really think about it, what's more important.
And we're diluting this with water, right? And I know the lemon, you have to use
glass or aluminum.
a glass or aluminum. Okay, because I know you can't with plastic.
Yep. And I will have at Graced and Sage, I'll have containers that are essential oil proof safe for you all to use, but you can also find them in other spaces as well, too. But I encourage you guys, really think about it, go on the website, get yourself a deep clean, let Ray come in to get you started. And then just doing that audit as far as which rooms can take what. It's just really a great idea. And it's so empowering, guys. I mean, it's just really, really empowering to know that you are walking into a environment that thanks you, because your rooms will thank you. Your environment will thank you, because it will then really be able to give you the air and the oxygen that you need. And if you have household plants, we haven't even talked about that. You talk about us being toxic. We are killing our plants too by using the wrong cleaning supplies. So when we're using the right proper cleaning supplies, it supports the atmosphere, not just for us, but for our plants, because they all communicate.
And pets too. Pets too.
Pets, yep, and your
Didn't
pet.
talk about that at all, but
I
same
know,
thing it
it's
does
the
to the
same.
human, it's doing to your pet, whether it's, danger or safety. It's
That's
the
right.
same for them.
That's right. So just doing an audit, and probably this week I'll give you guys a household audit breakdown. And it's not going to be an in-depth one, but it'll at least get you thinking about the things that you want to think about. Because in preparing to move from Bling Salon to Graced and Sage, I'm doing now an audit as to my environment, so that I can be proactive moving into my new space and just having that as a true unadulterated clean space, since I will be controlling the walls and the ceilings and everything. I don't have to just keep my little cube, non-toxic. I can do the whole environment. So I'm excited about doing that. And Ray, I definitely am going to have you in for that. But just an update, I did get my building permit. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. I'm so grateful.
Let's freaking go.
Yes, I'm so excited. We just got it on Wednesday last week. They started the pulling together and leveling out, uplifting the roof of the Graced and Sage. They did that on Saturday. So they were out there today. And so I will be in my space, God willing, in the spring, in March.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what a blessing.
Awesome.
We are really excited and just so humbled and grateful. So you guys keep me in your prayers.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to bring this wellness space to you guys with the herbs, the teas, the essential oils, and the DIYs and all of the things. And so I appreciate you all covering me, and I appreciate you standing with me. It has been a journey that I will share later, because I know that it will help encourage other people in things that carrying out the vision that God has given to you. So I love each of you all so dearly. I thank y'all for your time tonight. Ray, thank you. And thank your guests for coming if they are still here on the call. We appreciate you all, and you're welcome in our space. And y'all have a blessed and fantastic week. And we'll all connect again soon, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. It's great.
Bye, everyone. If you can linger just a second.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Second, if you don't have any, if the girls are all right.
They're asleep. They're good.
Okay, I was going to say it's quiet in the
Oh
house.
no, I'm actually at an office down the street. But
Okay.
they sleep.
Okay.
They before I came this way.
Oh, well, good, 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 good. I was thinking I definitely want to get in contact with Karen. I woke up in the middle of the night on my heart.
Ah,
I would love for her to reach out so I could talk to you about that
okay.
soon. Because I was just like, where's all of this coming from? But I definitely
Wow.
want to connect with her because I want to finish out this quarter very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got a couple of ideas and I want to hear her journey as to how she got where she is, you know?
Yes, ma'am. That makes my heart really happy, because I know that this conversation will just kind of like be a doorway into, all those things that you speak of, just to see someone else. And again, I want you to meet this woman and get to know her heart and hear her speak. And yeah, because it will really help. Exactly everything that you want can happen,
Well, I'm believing God for it. And I just, and praying and asking God to just order my steps in everything that I do. I really, really um, was encouraged and somewhat convicted. Like, you don't know who I'm going to use to bless you, and you don't know what avenue I'm going to
Yes,
choose.
ma'am.
I am not in the business of cutting off my blessings.
I
And so
love it.
I just humbly come back and I'm just like, I really don't want to leave any stone unturned because for me, Ray, it's kingdom work. It's about just glorifying God's purpose in each of our lives so that we can reach further and that
Yes.
really be able to take this ripe harvest and just do the little bit that we can do. And so that's why I love you dearly and I'm so proud of you and I'm really excited about the growth and just flying forward. So yes, please have Karen give me a call.
Yeah, well, I will tell her. I will tell her. Yes, ma'am.
All right, sugar. Well, you have a blessed evening, sweetheart, and we're going to talk real soon and I'll get you the copy of this so you can have
Okay.
it as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Oh, you're welcome, babe. Thanks for being here. Good night.
Good night.